Take a temperature check. If you think you're behind right now, that's great. If you don't think you're behind, you're toast. I have never seen anything that has transformed everything in a matter of moments.
Because we think Gen AI is one of the most important things that's ever happened in our lifetime.
I see our opportunity here to really leverage AI as this magnificent tool to help us.
So everything we do inside the company, as well as in the software we're building, puts the human at the center of the AI.
Every change brings fear. It always does, it always has. What I have absolute faith in is us.
What we did was we used AI to make our team so efficient that they're working on the things that matter, like inventing. And inventing we did.
This genie is not only out of the bottle, the bottle's gone.
I'm Eric Vaughan. Great to be here with you again. It's great to be at a convention center that's no longer under construction. Been under construction for the last 4 years that we've been here, and wow, what a beautiful spot. What a beautiful spot. You saw that intro there at the beginning. In addition to running the company IgniteTech and focusing on our AI transformation, I've spent the last couple of years with the opportunity to talk to a lot of people about what I think is the most important change that's ever happened in any of our lifetimes, AI. And you see that I'm out there trying to proselytize and help people understand where we're going, what we need to do, and I don't think that's changed. So today, I'm going to take you a little bit deeper into where I think we are for 2026 and share some super exciting news for you. Now, what kind of breakthroughs have happened? Like, what has happened since we've been given this extraordinary gift of AI? And that is what it is. I believe that. I believe it is a gift that has been given to us in a way that we can leverage it in like no time in the past we've ever been able to do anything like that. So what breakthroughs have actually happened already? There's been a Nobel Prize awarded for solving protein using AI, protein puzzles with AI. There's been diagnosing heart disease, big advances in healthcare. There's been all kinds of accomplishments in the sciences in many different ways. And adoption now. This is 2026, kind of an update of where we are. 88% of companies are using AI. 56% of US employees use AI at work. That's a shockingly low number in my mind. I find that really hard to believe it's only 56% in 2026. But that's BCG, the Boston Consulting Group. They're very deep into the statistics about what's going on with AI. I think that's amazing. But so some breakthroughs, some adoption, some people have done some extraordinary things with this gift. But when we look at Gen AI adoption, there are these statistics that are out there as well. 95% of Gen AI projects fail. This is, again, Boston Consulting Group. MIT measured the ability to actually achieve value. 74% say they are struggling to achieve value. And look at all of this. Why does AI fail? There's several things up there that I'd like you to look at. Governance paralysis is one of them. This is a real concern as we look at governance around the world for AI. Like, look at the EU sponsoring their own AI regulations. I worry very much that the EU is going to fall behind other parts of the country, of the world, because they are looking more at the risk than they are the opportunity. And this is not the time to be overcautious, because things are moving too quick. And a lot of companies, you'll see, are stuck in trial mode. I hear this still. People saying, we've got a little pilot going. We've got, an effort to try to make this come to, to prove itself before we go broad-based. But the time is now. And that opening slide had a picture of a gift. And it's important that we don't squander this gift. We don't want to squander this gift. It's the greatest gift we've ever been given. It's given us an opportunity to do things we've never been able to do if we dare to. And I want to talk about that, exactly where you can see those kinds of opportunities. As Steve Prefontaine said, to give anything less than your best is to sacrifice the gift. I put to you, you should not be wanting to sacrifice this gift at all. And you should exalt your company if they're holding you back to lean in all the way. It's that important. I really do believe it. So Let me give you some examples that are really interesting of where people are, it's not just moved the needle, it's blowing up and reimagining. IgniteTech is part of an ownership group from a company that was founded over 30 years ago called Trilogy Software. The man that founded the company is on the Forbes 400. He's not well known. Nobody knows who he is because he doesn't buy sports teams and yachts and spend his money on that. Instead, he is putting $1 billion of his money in recreating education. It's called the Alpha School. Some of you may have heard of it. This is a brand new idea. There's a campus in Miami, in fact, that is pioneering something called 2-hour learning. Students spend 2 hours in a classroom learning. The rest of the time, they learn life skills. This is what happens when you don't do incremental change or you don't look for some opportunity to just pilot a project. He looked at 200 years of education curriculum and said, we got to do this all again. We're not going to be able to reform. We have to completely redesign. Watch this video.
This probably isn't what comes to mind when you think of an average school day. Kids breathing fire,
Find a spot for your foot.
climbing a rock wall, and even learning the art of grilling. But for students at the Alpha School in Austin, Texas, this is no field day. Here, K through 12th graders are proudly cutting classes, spending just 2 hours a day learning math, science, reading, and writing, all with the help of an AI tutor and without a single teacher.
Morning launch time.
Mackenzie Price is the co-founder of Alpha School and its 2-hour learning program.
This is a school without teachers.
We have no teachers at our schools. Can you believe that?
The educators are a suite of AI-powered apps that gamify lessons, monitor progress, and with the help of eye tracking, keep tabs on students' attention span.
Who's teaching you?
I think the app is teaching me, but I'm also teaching myself.
All as adult guides, many of which have never been teachers, look on without interfering with their robot counterparts.
Are you comfortable having guides in the classroom that don't necessarily know the core curriculum?
It's okay that our guides aren't experts in physics or math or whatever they're doing. They are experts in their students.
It almost sounds like the guides here are told, you're here to lead the kids to AI.
Our guides are not allowed to teach. They are coaching students to become self-driven learners.
Price says the AI tutor personalizes lessons for each student, allowing them to learn class material in half the time, and according to data from Alpha, score in the 90th percentile on standardized tests in most grade levels.
This one's a little unusual.
It all comes as students nationwide grapple with AI's role. While some critics say it's too soon to know if the tech's having a positive effect in classrooms, one study found generative AI tutors can sometimes inhibit learning if students become too reliant on the tool.
How do you make sure that the AI that is teaching kids is doing what it's supposed to be doing?
We have a lot of guardrails in place to make sure that kids are not dealing with some of the issues that come with what we hear about with AI.
Still, at Alpha, where tuition costs $40,000 a year, academics are just the beginning.
This is called our check chart.
Each student must complete a long list of tasks before they can level up, including things like run a mile without stopping, solve a Rubik's Cube, and even
Independently put together a piece of IKEA furniture.
all in an effort to teach life skills and promote passion projects.
Welcome to the Alpha School Airbnb.
Like this group of 6th graders who are running a real Airbnb.
How old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11.
Yeah.
And how much money did you guys make with this Airbnb?
So we have $10,000 of confirmed bookings.
Over at Alpha High School,
You made an app. Wait, look at this.
an app.
16-year-olds Elle and Sloan are getting ready to pitch an AI-enabled app that gives dating advice.
I want to ask my crush out to prom in front of all of her friends. Is that a good idea?
It really depends on her personality.
So you've been learning from AI,
Yep.
and now you're building your own AI?
Yes.
A full circle experiment, putting these AI academics in a class of their own.
Now, how inspirational is that? That is reimagining education and actually putting the resources into it. And by the way, not covered in that, those guides, they make $100,000 a year. How many of you know a teacher that makes $100,000 a year? in a public or private school? Yeah, I don't see any hands, right? Because they're trying to get the best people. They're trying to remove every single barrier. This is the kind of thing that we can do to really shake up the world. That's what we do with this gift. Here's another example. The other day, I had a doctor's appointment. I had never met this gentleman before. 46 years he'd been practicing medicine. Really interesting guy, but he was talking to me about AI and maybe AI could help him in education or in healthcare. But he said, you know, it's just too slow. We've got all these regulations. We've got all these procedures. The hospital's not really leaning into it. And so it's exactly the same thing as what I just showed you with Alpha. We've got to reimagine healthcare because, my heavens, what that could look like would be amazing. Imagine an AI doctor's practice. What does that mean? They use AI throughout all phases of the engagement with you, including taking notes, follow-up, making themselves available for routine consultation through AI that can connect back to them. All that's available. In China, they're doing something very interesting.
China has just launched the world's first AI hospital capable of treating 3,000 patients every single day with robot doctors. Named Agent Hospital, this groundbreaking facility is set to revolutionize healthcare and save millions. Developed by Tsinghua University in Beijing, this AI hospital will be up and running by late 2024. In just 6 months, the team has created a near-ready system that's going to change the way doctors diagnose and treat patients. According to Liu Yong, the project leader, the AI hospital is a game changer for both medical professionals and the public. In this high-tech environment, AI doctors can treat up to 10,000 patients in just a few days, something that would take human doctors at least 2 years. These AI doctors are incredibly accurate with a 93.06% success rate on U.S. medical licensing exam questions. They handle everything from consultations and exams to diagnoses, treatments, and follow-ups, especially for major respiratory diseases. The virtual hospital is powered by advanced language models and includes AI-driven doctors, nurses, and patients. Starting with 14 doctors, and for nurses the system can expand to meet any demand. Doctors will diagnose and plan treatments while nurses provide daily support. This AI hospital also offers amazing training opportunities for medical students. They can practice and propose treatments without any risk, leading to the development of highly skilled doctors. In the real world, these virtual doctors will offer telemedicine services, potentially handling thousands or even millions of cases. The AI hospital can also predict and manage the spread of infectious diseases in specific areas. The goal is to provide high-quality, affordable, and convenient health care for everyone. Of course, ensuring the safety and reliability of this AI technology requires strict adherence to national medical regulations and thorough testing. Get ready for a revolution in healthcare. Agent Hospital is here to save lives and transform the medical world.
Get ready for a revolution. I think you could just take that line and apply it to everything. If you will accept this gift and help everyone around you realize we can do great things now, faster than ever, better than ever, with an assistant right by our side 24/7, always happy to help, sometimes a little too happy, we all know that, but it's absolutely remarkable. I've shown you how education could be reinvented. I've shown you how healthcare is going to be reinvented. We're going to see this in all vocations. So let me now bring it home. We're a bunch of IT professionals here in a room, and how it works for IgniteTech, because it's the same thing. The theme for 2026 for my company was not to squander the gift. That's what my team is hearing. We aren't going to just pilot little projects that are entertaining. We're looking to change things dramatically. So as Rich mentioned, I am the CEO of IgniteTech. I am known as the CEO of IgniteTech, but I'm also known as Mr. 80%. That's right. Some people are known by a lot of things. I happen to be known by a percentage because of this freakishly viral article that Fortune magazine published in August. The CEO fired 80% of his team because they refused to use AI. Went viral in August and they republished it in January. And when I say viral, like there it is in Hebrew, there it is in Chinese, like people were sending me texts all the time saying, hey, are you okay? Everything all right? Right? Because the title of the article sounded a little frightening. But I got to give credit. The Fortune writer did an excellent job. What he didn't mention in the headline, and if you read the article, you can appreciate, and if you've ever heard me speak here, I've chronicled it. We spent a year training people to try to actually take advantage of AI. We worked really, really hard to get them excited, gave them every opportunity, gave them every resource, investment, education, everything. And it still ended up that we needed to change the entire company. This was my favorite. That article got reappropriated. They changed the title. Now it's Brutal CEO who cut 80% of his workers. This one came out, someone sent it to me, and I sent a text message to my wife who's here in the audience today. I said, hey, honey, a brutal CEO is going to be home shortly, you take some heat from it, but I stand by it. It was the right thing to do. After a year of investment, I ended up with people...
IgniteTech's CEO, Eric Vaughan, stunned the tech world in 2020.
Enough of that. I ended up with people...
For a full quarter, you weren't allowed at our company to do anything except work on AI. You could not call customers, work on budgets, write normal code. You could write AI code. You could be taking courses. You could be working on team projects. Now, that's 20% of my payroll every single week. Think about that. We gave them time, space to learn. We declared it. We made it a fun thing, AI Monday.
A full year of training, 1 day a week that was nothing but AI. You couldn't call customers, you couldn't pay bills, you couldn't run finances. You only had time. You had everything you needed in order to learn. But still, I ended up with some of this. And some of you have some of this in your work, right? It's just like the ostrich with the head in the sand. If I don't look at it, it's not there. When I came up, oh my God, AI is still here. We're still talking about it. It's not going to go away. And people are really resistant to it, and they're worried about their jobs being replaced. And it's true. Their jobs are going to be replaced if they don't embrace it, if they don't make it a part of what they do in every single way. So, yes, we cut 80% of the team. 80%. That doesn't mean we reduced our staff. That means we went out and hired and replaced those people with people that the fundamental difference was not skills. The fundamental difference was they believed. This was the absolute differentiator. It's not that they believed AI could do everything. It's that they were willing to give it a chance to do anything. And that's where we found the difference. And now we have that team. Now, people are really going a little bit too far, I think, with the hyperbole around AI. I mean, here's an article where people have said, my gosh, it's starting to sound like a religion almost, right? The way they talk about it in Silicon Valley especially. But there is one thing about it that is interesting compared to a religion. There is no room for agnostic and no room for atheism in this idea that AI is here to stay and is going to transform our life. So let's not squander that gift. Let's take it. So we transformed everything about IgniteTech. IgniteTech is a 30-year-old company, part of that same organization that created Alpha School. I've been running it for the last 10 years. We completely changed everything about us. We started as an AI-first organization, and now we're an AI DNA organization. What does AI DNA mean? It means it's literally part of our cells. Like it's just what we do. In everything we do, we always try to bring AI into whatever process it is we're working on, or any idea that we have, or any code now that we're writing. I'll talk about that. That's who we are. We've restated it everywhere. And we know that because we measure it. Our AI team used AI code to write an AI application that measures AI usage, right? Not because we wanted to track it, because we wanted to see it. We wanted to be inspired by it. We wrote this little internal tool called Metrics Hub. This is AI usage across the entire organization at our company. Look at that, 70%. That means 70% of 40 hours a week are spent using one or more AI tools in their work. 70%. And that's because when you have AI DNA, you naturally turn to it and look at it and say, what can I do with it? This next chart is really interesting. You see the green line there at the top. We acquired a company back in May of last year called Chorus. Chorus had 650 people in 8 different countries. We integrated this company into ours. We hired a number of new people because Chorus people were not focused on AI. We gave them that opportunity to apply for roles. Some of them made that cut. Most of them did not. And we were very upfront with them about that. We recruited new AI people, and you see that's when the green line started. That is charting AI usage by the new joiners compared to the existing team. And it's super interesting to see it increase as time goes on, as they start to catch up with the rest of the team. That's what happens in an AI DNA organization. Like, you know, you kind of breathe it, you speak it, you think it. It's just natural. You don't have to be cajoled anymore. And down at the bottom, the only thing that is interesting about that chart is those are all the different teams. That's marketing, that's sales, that's development, that's finance. Everybody is involved in AI. In fact, I will tell you that I think more than the technical people, the marketing, the sales, the finance people enjoy it more because they've been liberated. They can write their own tools. They can do things that they've never been able to do. So you're trying to completely reconstruct your company or healthcare or the legal profession or education. And you know, you can't put a rocket engine on a horse. You can't do it. It doesn't work. So I think that the right way to do it is to change the wheels on the moving bus as it's driving down the street. You've got to retool like that in order to make that happen. Now, we did that, and we did it in a very dramatic way that's been chronicled, as I talked about. And what were those results? What does it look like? This is what's happened over the last couple of years since we've gone through this transition. I just want to share a couple of statistics. IgniteTech, for frame of reference, is a 9-digit revenue company. That means just between 100 million and $1 billion for frame of reference. We're not small, we're not massive. This is a common measurement of productivity, revenue per employee. That's IgniteTech's compared to many other names that you'll recognize there, OpenAI, Oracle, and Microsoft. I think what's most important is we made all of these investments and made all these changes. And if I look at EBITDA, bottom line, profit for the company, we made all of those changes, transformed 80% of our team into AI DNA, acquired a company with another 9-digit revenue company with 650 people, and finished the year at 75% EBITDA, again, ahead of many other names that you would recognize. The only reason I point that out is, number one, we're proud of it, but number two, it's not like we stripped down and blew up the company and put it at risk. In fact, we're even now able to do more than we ever have. And so are you. How many of you have heard of Claude Code? Show of hands. All right. How many have not heard of Claude Code? Show of hands. Okay. How many people won't raise their hand no matter what I ask? There's always somebody, usually down front. All right, yeah. So Claude Code, that's Dario Amodei of Anthropic, the guy with Claude, right? Dario was with OpenAI, left OpenAI, and decided to start this company, Anthropic. Claude is an alternative chat interface to ChatGPT. You should use it. You should try all of them and decide which ones work for you in which case. But Claude Code, this is what's happening in 2026. Now we just code by asking AI to write something for us, so-called vibe coding. A gentleman named Andrew Karpathy talked about it and made that phrase very popular, vibe coding. It's basically just saying, hey, I'd like to write an application that takes the last 6 years' financials and plots it, creates insights on how I can find 10% reduction in cost. Write that application for me. You kind of sit there and just watch the code generate. And I'm not kidding. That's what Claude Code does. There are others out there. There's Cursor from a company called Cursor. Cursor reached $100 million of ARR with 15 people. 15 in 1 year. They're now at $1 billion of revenue, Cursor. This is this coding revolution. And why is this such a big deal? Two things. Number one, it's democracy. Anytime democracy happens to humans, they make it proliferate. And that's what's happening. We have now made everybody a coder. Everybody can code. Our finance guy can code, our marketing person can code, our salesperson can code, because they just basically ask AI to create the application or the screens or the flow or whatever it is they want by directing the AI. And the AI knows code really, really well. And by the way, that's what we're all using now to write code. So again, I've got AI people using AI to write AI. It's kind of freaky when you say it like that, but it's true. And all of you can do that. You can do it this afternoon. You can do it when you go back to your office at the end of the week. Install Claude Code, download Cursor, try it. It's really very easy and it's liberating. You'll love it. So back to my metrics hub, you can see my team now really starting to drive. You can see Claude Code. In our world, we tell everybody experiment. You have two parts of your job, experiment on one side, do productive work on the other. I have zero idea where that slider is. I don't know if it's 10%, 90, 50, 50, don't know. But you can't just come to work and do production, and you can't just come to work and do R&D, but you have to do both. So we're always trying all the tools. I encourage all of you to do exactly the same thing. So yeah, Claude Codes are in the lead for us right now, but you can see the usage over time by the team. And again, you can use it by number of lines of code now that have been changed. Just absolutely remarkable. Okay, so that sounds a little bit like plumbing. What are we doing to not squander the gift? Because we could just amuse ourselves all day long with, wow, we're using AI, we're 70%, and we're using Claude Code, but what are we doing with it? At IgniteTech, we're trying to create new software from scratch to change people's lives. And our first announcement a couple of years ago, now, it's hard to imagine, I can even say that, a couple of years ago, was a product that we called My Personas. My Personas is a miraculous piece of software that creates an AI clone of people. An AI clone, actually, a video and voice reproduction of the person with their knowledge. So you can ask them any question you'd like and they'll answer. You can talk to them, you can chat with them, however you'd like, and in 160 languages and 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's the kind of application also that is grounded in that person's knowledge, meaning if the AI doesn't know the answer, the AI clone doesn't know the answer, it goes and asks the person, and this is a foundation of the software that IgniteTech writes, and this is called keeping the human in the loop. So we're not writing AI to displace humans, we're using AI by AI people to empower humans and make them more available. I'll give you, an example that's going to hit home. But first, we went to the Consumer Electronics Show in January, and we were part of an event where journalists came and actually experienced My Personas head on and got to meet it for the first time, including their own AI clone. Let me show you.
In today's handoff to Joe and Erica, every year Consumer Electronics Show gives us examples of some technology that might make our lives better, or often it's just for fun. So are you tired of answering easy questions at work or at home? Enter My Personas. IgniteTech created digital AI twins of its key employees. These digital stand-ins can answer common questions for them and even chat with people through video, acting like a virtual version of the real person. The idea here is to take some pressure off of critical workers like HR managers by shifting tasks, including employee training or onboarding, to these AI agents who look and speak like them.
So you're going to see this again out in the hallway. You saw Rich Tarani up here. You're going to see Rich Tarani over in the registration area on a little kiosk because Rich created his own My Persona. And if you happen to go on the IT Expo website and clicked on the little button, there's Rich in 160 languages, 24/7, answering all of your same questions over and over again. What time does it start? Can I see the agenda? Let me show you.
Hi there, I'm Rich Tarani, Conference Chairman for IT Expo. Ask me about anything of our collocated events, agendas, speakers, registration, and more, and you can speak to me in any language.
Hi, Rich. Can you tell me what hotels should I stay at when I'm attending the expo? And I'd like you to answer me in Spanish, please.
Hola, para tu comodidad, la información de hoteles y viajes es compartida para todos nuestros eventos. Puedes encontrar todos los detalles y opciones de alojamiento en el siguiente enlace, Hotel and Travel, https itexpo.com East Travel ASPX.
Okay, fantastic. And Is it too late to register? Answer me this time in French.
Ce n'est pas trop tard pour s'inscrire. Les inscriptions sont toujours ouvertes pour nos événements qui se déroulent du 10 au 12 février 2026. Et vous pouvez vous inscrire ici. Inscription, https www.idexpo.com East Registration ASPX.
Hi, Rich. Tell me where the conference is located, but answer me in Mandarin.
会议地点在佛罗里达州老的戴尔堡的不老我的县会议中心。
Now, see, when you see Rich in the hallway, will you congratulate him on his amazing accomplishment to speak so many languages effortlessly and again 24/7? This is the wave of the future. Is it interesting? Is it clever? Sure. What's the use case? Do you know how many times Rich and his team have been asked the same questions by all of us over and over and over and over again for the last several weeks? Over again? Why not make this available through AI? This is what My Personas does. So come check that out in the registration area. You can actually talk to Rich and see it. So that was the first application. And then 1 year ago, almost to the day, I stood on this stage and I announced what's our very next AI from scratch product written by our AI team was. It was called Eloquens AI. And Eloquens is, again, a persona, but it's over email. So it's a name, it's an email address, just like you would think it was a real person. It speaks 160 languages. It answers every email in 5 minutes or less. It is always empathetic. It never makes any grammar errors. You can't make it tired. It will always address every one of your questions. All of those things are not what humans do, by the way, especially when they're under duress, like the same email is coming in over and over again from multiple people because of some problem or crisis or something that's happened, right? That is when something like Eloquens really shines. And when we think about email, let's face it, we are all just slaves to our email. We are buying the expensive Wi-Fi package on cruises because we feel like we just can't miss that email that's coming in. But what if you didn't have to? What if after 30 years we could redefine email so almost all of them were taken care of in your voice in a way that you'd be completely happy with and you just designated it to somebody else? And that's what Eloquens does. And here's an example. I spoke at the Financial Times conference in London. This is the gentleman that interviewed me on the stage in London, Andrew Hill. And I told him, just write Eloquens, right? ella.quinn@eloquens.ai and ask Ella, hey, tell me about this. And it answered and said, hey, thanks for the note. Here's everything Eloquens does, but let me give you an example of why this would work for you, Andrew. Here's somebody that wrote you with a short deadline and wanted to see if maybe you wanted to publish something that they said, an on-record comment from a CEO. Note the time, 6:52 p.m. on Friday. Now, Andrew, unless you're monitoring your email fanatically, you may have missed that scoop. But you know who didn't miss that scoop? Yeah, this is what normally happens. Thank you for this message. This inbox is monitored during business hours. We'll review and get back to you as soon as possible. I remember when autoresponder was like a thing. We thought it was good. It's not. It's ticking off your customers. It's pushing people away. Instead, Eloquens answered and said, well, hey, yeah, thanks for the offer. I can take a succinct written quote now. Please send me one on-record sentence addressing the leadership's change impact. Right? Andrew didn't miss a thing. So that was Eloquens. We're also showing that at the booth. That was our second announcement. But I want to say, with all proper homage to somebody that I respect very greatly, Steve Jobs. I tell my team all the time, we come from the Steve Jobs idea of innovation, which is we try to create things that no one's thought of in a way that no one believes can work, in a way that empowers and changes their lives. So there's one more thing for you today. I'm again standing on this stage, and just this morning, we put an announcement out, a press release out, announcing a product to address a problem that we all have. This is unbelievable when you think about it, but the amount of money that is wasted every year saying, can we meet next Thursday? Oh, we've got to get billed too. I got to get access to his calendar. Can we meet on Wednesday? No, what about 2 o'clock? He's in a different time zone. I think he might be off. I have to check the calendar and see. Back and forth and back and forth. $25,000 is the quote of lost productivity per employee per year. from just scheduling meetings. And we just take it because we think we have to. That's just the way it should be. But we today issued a press release announcing a new product right here at Gen AI Expo called Adminio. Adminio is using the base of Eloquence, our email persona engine that knows how to talk, always perfect grammar, 160 languages, 24/7, to handle that exactly. This is Adminio.
Hi, Megan. We just signed with IgniteTech and need to get our teams together for a kickoff. We'll have myself, our CTO, Sarah Williams, and VP Engineering, James Park. Can we get Eric plus your technical team for a demo and roadmap discussion next week? David Chen, COO, Meridian Systems.
Hi, David. Great to hear from you. I'll coordinate with Eric, Soma Kanadi, and Matt Brown from our side. What time zone is your team in? Megan.
We're all in San Francisco, Pacific Time. Sarah is swilliams.meridiansys.com and James is jparkermeridiansys.com. We prefer to avoid anything before 9 a.m. or after 4 p.m. Pacific. David.
Perfect. Wednesday, February 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern works for Eric, Soma, and Matt. I don't have access to your team's calendars. Does this time work for Sarah and James?
I have a conflict at 11 a.m. Could we do 12:30 p.m. Pacific instead? Sarah.
12:30 p.m. Pacific works for Soma, Eric, and me. However, this puts Matt at 10:30 p.m. South Africa time, which is quite late. I'm looping in Eric to confirm this is acceptable before we finalize.
Matt's fine with evening meetings when needed for customer kickoffs. Let's go with 12:30 p.m. Pacific. Eric.
Quick change. Our CFO scheduled an all hands that Wednesday afternoon. Can we move to the week of February 16th? David.
No problem. Looking at the following week, Wednesday, February 18th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern works best for everyone. David, Sarah, James, does this work?
Works for me. Sarah.
Good here. James.
Perfect. David.
Excellent. Updated invitations sent. Final meeting, Wednesday, February 18th, 2026, 1:30 to 3 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 to 5 p.m. Central, 11:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. South African Standard Time. Looking forward to your kickoff. Megan.
I'd like an amen. No amen? Oh, come on, this is brand new, it's incredible. This is something that you're absolutely all doing every single day and you think it's just okay. You know, that's what happens with technology and innovation. People come up with ideas and you're like, you know, I've never thought about how much time I waste and how frustrating that is and how difficult it is. But see what we're doing. What we're doing with this gift of AI is we are creating code and creating solutions that change people's lives in every way we possibly can. It's not about the AI, it's about the result. My personas, Eloquence, and now Adminio, these are 3 products created from scratch by a team that didn't work for us 2 years ago, all using advanced AI coding methods to try to deliver game-changing innovation for everyone around the world. And Adminio will be available in the first quarter. That's a matter of weeks, not months, not years. It's not a roadmap. That's available in this quarter. That's 3 of these. So we're trying to bring agency, not agents. People talk a lot about agents. I think it's the wrong word. It makes people afraid. They think agents sound like it's some disembodied thing running around with your credit card making orders for you. It's actually about agency, giving you control, humans control. If you notice, in all of those applications, we always refer back to the human and keep the human in the loop. It is about that to give us the advantage with what AI can do. So what will you do with the gift that you've been given? You're faced with 2 choices. You can patch the old road and you can fix some potholes, or you can use the most advanced tools that you've ever had in your entire lives, in your entire careers, no matter what vocation, and you can build a brand new runway that you can take off and drive incredible innovation. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will. Your competitors are doing it while you sit here now, I promise. So don't squander the gift. That's the message. Make it flourish and take it away. Thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful lunch. I enjoyed being with you. Now let's have a great expo.